Welcome to the 102nd video in our series about Unix tools. In this video, we're going to continue our journey to learn Git. Once you've written code, you'll need to share it. The easiest way to do that for the consumer, the person who wants to use your code, is to create an archive and let them download it. They don't need Git if you do it this way. Two formats are common. A compressed tar file, wow, bad grammar, and a zip file. Git can do either, and I'm going to show you how. Let's do it. So we're in our directory where we always are, and if we do a git log, you can see we have our tagged version. That's a good version. Every time you have a version that you are going to let other people use, you're going to need to tag it. So, okay. I told you there are two formats. The compressed tar file, which is for the Unix people, and the zip file, which is for Windows people. So, let's do the Unix way first. How would you do it? It turns out there's a git archive command for this, and you can see, like everything else, there's lots and lots of stuff. So I'm going to show you what I do, and if you want to know more, you can read the man page. So git archive, and then the next thing, I'm going to do verbose because I want to see what it does. I'm going to choose the tar format. The directory name that people are going to see, you always want to make sure you use a prefix. Some zip people don't put a prefix, and then it spams your current directory, which is bad and makes people angry. You need to make sure that when they unpack this thing, it's all in a subdirectory or a folder. So we're going to give the prefix, and we're going to call this Wonderful 1.0. And you should probably include, or maybe V 1.0. You should include your tag as part of the name of this folder. And I'm using a / because I'm on a Unix system. Okay, and then you give the tag you want, which was ours was V 1.0. You could use a hash, but like I said, if you're going to share this code, you really ought to tag it. And then you need to say, where do you want to put this? And for now, I'm going to put this in the temp directory, and I'm going to call it wonderful version 1.0.tar. Okay, and when I do that, you can see everything looks good. It created the wonderful 1.0. It included the git ignore, which I didn't really want, but it did not include all the git stuff. So can we do better? Maybe, but let's accept this for now. The git ignore is a hidden file, so Unix people won't see it by default. This is a tar file that we've created. And if we do a file on that, you can see it's a tar archive. And, you know, it's relatively big considering how small the files inside are. So the normal thing to do is compress it. I'll use the XZ compressor, maximum compression. I'm going to ask for verbose so it shows me some kind of progress while it's working. And then I give the name of the file. And it says, yeah, I did it. And we can go look at that file. And you can see, wow, we went from 20,000 bytes to 1,900 bytes. So it's less than 10% of the original size, and this file is still going to be great if you want to test, extract it. Decompress to the console, that file name, and then we'll do the T, which is the list. And you can see, yes, it's got the files we think it does inside of it. So good, we've created a tar file that we could share with other people. You could upload this to the cloud. You could attach it to an email because it's really small, if your email lets you send this kind of thing. But that's not going to work well for a lot of Windows people because they use zip. So can we make an archive for the zip format? Let's go back here and do it again. And we say I want to format as a zip file. And that's all I changed was the file name and the format name. Everything else is the same. And of course, if it's a zip file, I might want to do that backwards. And since that's not normal, you might think, oh, that's enough. But you might need a double one. Do you need a single one? Do you need a double one? Single, double, I don't know. So you have to think about it. And I would go with double and hit the button. And you can see, oh no, it came out double in the file. I don't like that. So you can tell I don't make Windows archives often. So let's go back with a single slash. There we go. Now it looks the way Windows people expect it to look. And if we did an unzip minus L on this file, you can see it's exactly the same. Okay. And what about our sizes? You can see the zip file is a little bit bigger, but it's not bad. Okay, you don't need to compress the zip file because zip is already compressed. Zip is from the Windows world, it's all in one. It doesn't archive and compress in one go. But the weakness of that, of course, is it's a little bit larger than the Unix style, but it's easier to make, easier to use. So you've now seen how to create both archives that are compressed tar files for the Unix people and archives that are zip files for the Windows people. And how can I make sure I give you the good ones? That's the good one for Unix, and that's the good one for Windows. This was a mistake. Don't do it. Okay, that's all there is to it. It's pretty easy to do. Some projects won't do it. I don't know why, but they just won't do it. And they say, you have to do a git clone. But git clone is difficult for your consumer because they have to install git. They have to learn all the git commands to do it. And creating this kind of archive is easier. And they get exactly the code from version 1.0. Basically, git will create some temporary directory, and it will do a git checkout of just this code from that version. And then it'll make the archive and delete the temporary directory. But it does all that in the background so you don't see it. And you just get the result. So please, when you're going to submit your homework, your teacher will tell you what format, but most teachers at BUU are going to want a zip file, and you can either upload that to the content management system that your class is using, like Google Classroom, or you could, if they want email, you can attach the zip file to the email. I know Outlook will take a small zip file and accepts that format. So that's all there is to it. This video is a short one. Aren't we lucky? So please come back next time when we look at some more Git. But for now, thank you for listening.